Well, here we are again. We were last year, now it's 2016 for the alumni dinner. And this is Sharon Speck, right? Class of 52. Hey, thank you, Sharon. Nice seeing you. Anything you want to say for nationwide television? What are you going to do when you're the new supervisor?
Well, I think, some of the things is increase taxes, take over all private property. Oh, wait, that's somebody else. Never mind, that's somebody else.
Take away everybody's guns.
That's right.
Confiscate all the guns.
That's right. I've always said that communism is a beautiful thing as long as I'm the chairman, but, I don't think that's ever going to happen. So in that case, I kind of like democracy.
Okay, well, it's nice talking to you.
Pleasure, Dick, always.
Hey, Jim, you want to say something for the class?
Sure.
Class of 1960?
It's wonderful to be here. So good to see some of my classmates. I hope to see a lot more. Of course, Dick is the best promoter of Strathmore Spartans, and I really appreciate him. I love you, Dick.
Hey,
You're a good man.
Hey, Jim, 10 years after me.
That's
and
right.
His wife, Carmen, right here. Hey, Carmen.
How
you doing? You're on nationwide television. You want to say anything?
Hello, how are you?
What?
We're very happy to be here.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, it's good to see you and your wife.
Many more.
Many more, yes. First table for a long time.
This is Rick Crocker, Lowell Crocker's son, and his wife. Patty. This is Lowell Crocker's daughter-in-law.
There you go.
Okay, you're Lowell Crocker's granddaughter, right?
Yeah, I'm Rick's daughter.
Yeah. Let me get to you. Class of what?
2011.
Hey, thank you. Here's Ellen Williams. Goody. Hey, I'll take a class of 50. How's your brother?
He's doing just fine.
Where is he living now?
He's still in Vermont in the summer and Pensacola, Florida in the winter.
He used to be in South America or somewhere, didn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was in New Guinea.
New Guinea?
Yeah, the Indonesian side of the island of New Guinea.
Yeah, it's really noisy in here. Thank you, Ellen.
If everyone could grab a seat. If you don't have a seat, if you do have a seat. We have plenty of room up front. The class of 66 is just removing their reserve sign. So we've got a flag salute. Got the flag up here to my right up front. Get to that point for them. So they had some success as well. Girls varsity soccer team. We're back-to-back champions. So last year they were the Valley champions. This year they were also Valley champions and made it to the state semifinals. And girls varsity track team, they won the East Sequoia League championship, and that was the first time in 40 years that the track team has won a league championship. So last time was 1976 that we have now for winning. So. And also the Frosh Soft track team, which as I'm reading this, I didn't realize we had a Frosh Soft track team, but the Frosh Soft track team won their league championship, and that was the first time in the history that they have won, probably because we haven't had a Frosh Soft track team before, but as the first time in history that we won league championship. So don't ask me how many teams are in that league, but you know, I'm sure there's more than two. And then I think that's about it. So anyway, he wanted to share with you guys what some of the great sports teams are able to accomplish over this past year, and it looks like based on the results that we're going to have a lot of success for the years to come. So for those of you that aren't around the area, I know on our Facebook page we try and keep up to date. Megan Crawford isn't here tonight, but I know she's very diligent about trying to post local stories about what the high school is doing there to keep everyone who's not in the area up to date on what's happening at Strathmore High. So I'd encourage you to look at that. And with that, speaking of the school update, if I could get the music director to come up to the front, the pie cutter, the money taker. He does it all. He wants to share with you the band has if you didn't go by the dessert table, there's a nice little easel, and the band is getting ready to go on a phenomenal trip to Carnegie Hall, and it's really a fantastic opportunity that Strathmore kids are going to be able to partake in. So.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you all had a wonderful time. It's wonderful. My name is Nick Walters. I am originally from Porterville. I just started directing the band this year. I did the choir last year, so it's my second year at Strathmore. I'm loving being a Spartan. Both of my sons play football for Strathmore. They were real excited to have that undefeated year on JV. They both are running track and baseball, so they're all over the place. Me, I work with the band and the choir. We are taking an amazing trip next year. We joined forces with the orchestra at Harmony Magnet Academy to create a Harmony Magnet Academy Symphony Orchestra. So it's the band and the choir. So you got the full strings, you have the full percussion, all the brass, all the woodwinds. And we were invited to Carnegie Hall. What's amazing about that invitation is, and everyone applause for this. Most groups that go to Carnegie Hall actually go and they pay. They pay a fee to go. But because of the people we work with and what Strathmore attracts, which is really wonderful, Strathmore attracted someone like Dr. Mike Aller, who's the orchestra director of Harmony Magnet Academy, who's gone to Carnegie Hall 5 other times in the past, and so we got invited to go with them. 6 of those, the 6th group. My students are trying to correct me. They're good at that. They like to tell me when I'm wrong. So this next year, we're going to be doing a lot of extra rehearsing. I hope you all got to see us marching the parades this year. We got them back on the street. They're at the football games. We made it to a football game. We won't be doing field shows next year. We will be doing field shows in the future. I'm going to take that extra time to do some extra rehearsing to make sure that we're up to that national class group that we need to be in, that we're going to be. The band is growing, the choir is growing. Since I've taken over the choir this year, we've doubled in size. So everything that you're doing is absolutely wonderful. I'm so proud to call myself a Spartan. It's not really what I thought I would do. You might boo at me for a second. I called myself a Panther through high school. And there's a little bit of orange and green left in me, but the blue and crimson is just amazing. I'm really happy to be here. I'm so honored to be a part of this. Thank you for all your support. If there's ever anything that you want, just email me at nicholaswalters@portableschools.org. You are all invited to come sit into rehearsal any point in time. You might listen to me all a little bit. I'm really good at yelling at my students. Upcoming, besides all the upcoming desserts we have back there, this Friday at Harmony Magnet Academy, on Friday the 13th, we're having our Harmony Magnet Academy Symphony Orchestra Concert, or the HMASO, which is easier to me than Harmony Magnet Academy Symphony Orchestra. The HMASO will be performing this Friday along with Dr. Allard's guitar and his beginning orchestra. We will be doing one of the pieces that we're doing at Carnegie Hall. Coming up also, just so you know what's happening at Strathmore High School at Harmony, we got our dance recital is going to be next week on the 20th. And then Future Heritage, and thank you for all you've done for us to allow us to keep growing. Go Spartans.
So lots of great events that you guys that are around in the area, or if you want to come back and see some of the current students and hear some of the great talent that they have, I'm sure they would all love to have you present. With that, I don't know if he's finished or not. But if my dad, Rick Crocker, could come up and he can give the Tom Shimasaki Scholarship Treasurer's Report.
It took me a little longer to get up here tonight. We played softball today. And, oh man, when I stood up right now, I could already feel it. And I would like to really thank Kyler and Griselle and Mark Navalos for putting on such a wonderful softball. I guess my daughter Aslan was involved too, so I better thank her. But it really turned out well. We're starting to get some of the younger alumni involved in homecoming activities. We're not really seeing it here at dinner yet. Tom Shimasaki Scholarship Fund. Our beginning balance on May the 1st, 2015 was $62,947.12. And this past year, we had receipts, we had income of $1,139.58. We had 2 scholarships that we gave away this past year to 2 deserving students, and we dispersed funds of $6,000. Ending balance as of April 30th, 2016 is $58,086.70.
Just a few quick words about their involvement and what their future plans are.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosario Gutierrez. I am currently involved in as many clubs as possible at Strathmore High School. I am in CSF, FFA, Key Club, Pen Pal, and the Emerging Agricultural Technologies path. I am planning on attending the University of California at Davis this upcoming fall, and I'm going to major in English. I plan on receiving my degree so I can pursue a career as a teacher. I want to come back to my community of Strathmore after finishing my degree so I can come back because I appreciate my community. I appreciate all the support I have received from my teachers, and I know the importance of getting an education. This has inspired me to become a teacher because I want to make a difference in the students' lives and help them develop skills inside and outside of the classroom. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to fulfill my dreams of becoming a first-generation student to go to college. Don't forget, once a Spartan, always a Spartan.
Good evening, my name is Yesenia Gomez. I have been part of FFA for 4 years and 2 years in CSF. I am also part of an emerging agriculture technology pathway which has helped me more experience in real-world application. I have had a great learning experience throughout these 4 years thanks to all my teachers. This fall, I plan to attend CSU Stanislaus to become a physical therapist. After college, I plan to return to Strathmore to give back to my family and community. Thanks to all the people that made this evening possible. Go Spartans!
So if you didn't catch all of that, Yesenia is planning on going to CSU Stanislaus and study to be a physical therapist, and she's very involved in FFA here. If that's kind of she said a lot of other great words, but that's all my small Strathmorean brain can handle, so I apologize. The next item I'd like to move on to is the Lifetime Achievement Award, and as you guys know that have been attending for some time, we've given out to what we deem a worthy recipient who's really done some phenomenal things outside of high school, and really brought a lot of pride to the Strathmore community. So this individual, to start out, one of the quotes that I enjoy, this individual has declared himself, and so now we're narrowing it down, I'm basically Joe's six-pack. This is a quote from a local news article. Joe's six-pack. So who's Joe's six-pack? Well, Joe's six-pack is our very own Alan Ashita, Tulare County Supervisor, District 1. His words, not mine. So just to read, and I do have the quote in case nobody believes me. I have some other quotes, but they're not really appropriate to say at this wonderful evening. Supervisor Alan Ashita represents the 1st District, which covers the northeastern portion of Tulare County, including the communities of Exeter, Farmersville, Lemon Cove, Lindsay, Strathmore, Three Rivers, East Visalia, and portions of Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks and Sequoia National Forest. He was elected to the Board of Supervisors in 2004 and was re-elected in 2008 and again in 2012. Supervisor Ashita is a 3rd-generation citrus farmer from Strathmore. His family settled in, well, technically it's a Lindsay address, but I mean, we know it's Strathmore. So, give him a break. In 1909, he is a graduate of Strathmore High School, a graduate of Fresno State, where he just received a degree in business administration and a minor in agriculture. Supervisor Ashita and his wife live, well, they live out in the countryside. We don't need to go where they live. They don't need eggs, so you can save those for somebody else's house. Alan has 3 children, Brad, Ken, and Barbara. He is an avid outdoorsman who enjoys hunting, fishing, camping, snorkeling. He's a member of Ducks Unlimited. Alan and Wanda enjoy dancing, and I think Wanda may ask me why there isn't a band here tonight, but there's not, and I apologize, and I'm not going to sing except for the school song at the end, so that's all you're going to get. And everyone else is grateful for that. Alan is an Eagle Scout. He's climbed Mount Whitney. He's been involved with Xerox Corporation. He's He's done phenomenal things throughout the USDA when he was there as well. Some of the things that Alan's been able to accomplish outside of his real estate and farming background, what he's been able to do for Tulare County in particular, are some things that I'd like to take a few moments to kind of highlight. And the first one, which I think is very important to many of us, is that later this month, Plainview will get a park. And I think that is just absolutely phenomenal. And so, I guess we're waiting, Strathmore's waiting, but that's okay. Maybe that's my task. I don't know, we'll see. So, but great for Plainview. It's been a long time coming, and I think there's a few other things. As far as Alan being business friendly, since his time on the board, he's been able to, along with other help with staff and other board members, to help get permits issued within 30 days if they're properly zoned. They've worked on getting conditional use permits that now take 90 days. And to give you context, before it used to take years to get a permit. Now we're talking about 90 days. That's business friendly. They've been able to set up a step-up program which helps the youth in our communities get away from the gang lifestyle and bring county resources and other resources to help them make sure that they have some hope and some opportunities to better their lives. Measure R was passed, which Measure R, in combination with other road funding that the county's been able to leverage, has brought over $1 billion in transportation funding in 9 years. That is phenomenal, folks. And granted, I'm sure some of you are saying, well, they didn't fix my road. Well, just think how much worse it would be if we didn't have that $1 billion. I mean, so it's a great thing. One thing that he's been also quoted for being really proud of helping get a Tulare Lake Basin study. And what that does is it outlines water issues for small communities. That means Strathmore. And so it means a lot of other communities, but it means Strathmore as well. And so I think that's worthwhile to celebrate. He's been involved in tons of state issues, tons of statewide committees, and I'm not going to go through them all, but one of the more recent things that he's been able to accomplish is he's helped form a group that has taken over Amtrak services in the San Joaquin Valley, and in a matter of a few months, they've been able to tighten the budget and get a new service, a new line that's running just because local government now is in control outside of Sacramento, and that's just another great thing as far as what he's been able to do. So with that, I won't go into details as far as his future endeavors. But for all of our sake, if we could have California's next governor, Alan Ashita, come to the stage.
That's quite an award. It's totally by surprise. I've spent 12 years on the Board of Supervisors, which is probably the best job I've ever had next to farming. I've been very lucky. We have a Board of Supervisors that have been very progressive. And the one thing I want you to all know in Tulare County, you're all from Tulare County, is that Tulare County has 0 long-term debt. We were one of the few government agencies anywhere. We are going to build a new jail in Porterville. It's a $60 million jail. We have a new courthouse in Porterville, and we're able to build that jail. Our cost share was all cash. So we've been very, very careful with the monies of the people in Tulare County, and I'm very proud that we've had a great Board of Supervisors. The one thing I look at is that we're so lucky that we were able to come to a school like Strathmore High School. I think people do not understand from the bigger schools how we interreacted with each other. And we really had the feeling of community, where a lot of the larger places do not. But there is definitely pride in coming from Strathmore or even coming to school for a short period of time. Prime example. Bobby's here, and he left as a freshman, and he came to our 50th class reunion, and he left 53 years ago. But
best school I ever went to.
So I feel very blessed, the fact that I was able to come to this school. I think it was Fred Pullen said that one of the greatest things about Strathmore High School was a 50-cent lunch.
40.
Oh, 40-cent lunch. But that's all I have to say. I'm very proud to come from this community. And I, like the rest of you, always have roots till we pass to the next world. But thank you very much for this honor.
Thanks, Alan. With that, we will move on to our treasurer's report. For 2014 was $2,763.64 in our checking account. The ending balance for December 2015 was $3,474.92, so we're going in the right direction. And our finance and thrift CD that we have there at the end of last year, the end of 2015, was $6,948.72, and out of that, the interest income for the year was $10.46. There's a little bit of truth to what I said earlier into the memorial book. 1936, Adeline Aubrey Van de Venter. Orpha Louise Page Ryder, 1936. Don Cameron, 1941. Lee Edwin Smith, 1943. Joy Taylor Dodson, 1944. Annalise Franken Odenkrantz, 1944. Shirley Leitner McFadstein, 1948. James Nanamura, 1949. Truett Jackson, 1949. Eddie W. Reed, 1949. Kenneth Lee Henderson, 1951. Dwayne Allen Branch, 1952. Bernice Branch Oliver, 1956. Jean Morrison Neville, 1958. Walter Buster Alexander, 1959. Robert C. Emery, 1959. John Weldon, 1960. James Douglas Hughes, 1960. Alice Bessie Shepard, 1961. Eddie Smith, 1962. Chester Bruce, 1964. James Halterman, 1966. Edward Ed Toddy, 1967. Donna McGowan Williams, 1976. Stephen William Sahovey, 1978. Robert Ariano Jr., 1983. Doris Lamb, staff. Let's have a moment of silence for those who have just passed. Thank you. So with that, my dad kind of went into some of the things that we've done this past year, and I wanted to give you guys a brief little update just to keep you guys apprised of kind of the comings and goings of what the Alumni Association is doing. So first of all, I've heard loud and clear from multiple people, and I know other committee members have as well, but I apologize for the mailing. The mailing was late this year, and I do believe we have had some issues as far as people not necessarily receiving their invitations. We haven't had a chance to look into that, but we are going to look into seeing what the problem was and where that misstep occurred. So we're looking to resolve that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as my dad spoke about, we had a phenomenal softball tournament where we had members from classes in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and even as recent as last year, and we had a member from 2015 participate. Well, actually, I take that back. We even had, I know we had at least one current senior, high school senior, that was out on the field, and let me tell you, he carried that team, because the other guys, oh boy, they were in a world of hurt. They played last night, and they weren't nearly as good as this morning when they had them. So we had a phenomenal time, though. There's going to be pictures posted on Facebook and on the website, so look forward for those in the coming days and weeks. But we had 6 full teams. So with about 12 to 13 players per team, you can do the math as far as that, and all the family and the young kids and the toddlers and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-old children that were playing all around the memorial grounds all day today till about 3:30. Last night till about 9 o'clock. From 6 to 9. It was just a great experience, and I think that's kind of what we've all looked for having, is trying to bring back the old feel as far as when we used to have the picnic and when it was a family atmosphere and when people could bring everyone. And so that's kind of our goal, is that we're looking for some strange solution as far as how we can make sure that we keep this going, but I think the solution is just that we go back to the basics and we go back to our roots, and we're seeing that we're very successful when we're having a family type atmosphere where additional people can come and hang out for the day, and it's not going to break the bank, and we're, as an Alumni Association, we raised a few dollars and paid for the renting of this facility, and so we're very grateful for having that. In addition, we also had a bunco tournament, and don't ask me exactly what that is, but I'm told it's something like Yahtzee. But we had that out here in the outside patio last night, and we had 6 teams that played in that, and I think that everyone that played, they all enjoyed themselves and they had a great time, and so we're hoping that expands, and that Friday night that can be a constant something that any one of you or others can come participate in and help with just hanging out and giving another time that we can fellowship with each other and create new memories with each other. So those were a couple of the things as far as activities. I've heard nothing. I heard from numerous staff members, for those of you that were able to make it to the assembly yesterday from the high school, and they all said, wow, what a phenomenal group you guys had. I mean, that was amazing. And so for those of you that attended, I wanted to share that with you because they were thoroughly impressed with the group. A lot of staff are newer, and so they haven't had the chance to fully experience what homecoming means, because homecoming is something that, as we all know, is very unique to Strathmore. And so it's a testament to all of you that showed up, and I would encourage others that haven't showed up in a while or have never shown up to come on by on Friday late morning and swing by and go to the assembly and give an opportunity to say a few words to some young people that may just need that, to pick them up and to give them a little inspiration. So lastly, I want to talk about, I've mentioned this before, but what we've been able to do the last couple of years since we moved to the memorial building is we've been able to partner with some folks that are really involved with the Strathmore Boys and Girls Club. Strathmore Boys and Girls Club started last year. This is coming up on its first full year running, and they've been able to do some phenomenal things as far as helping the young people here in town, give them additional opportunities to just, stay off the streets and get some good mentors and be able to do their homework and all those fun things that aren't maybe so fun, but it helps them out. And so they've been able to go on some fun field trips as well. And so what we've been able to do as partner is that as you all were able to interact with the young people that were taking your orders and that were bringing out your food and taking your plates away, they have graciously helped with the meal. And so instead of us paying for a caterer, we cut a check to the Strathmore Boys and Girls Club. And so that's that's just another way that we're continuing to give back to the community that's given us so much. And so we've that's been something that I'm very proud of this group, of how we've been able to help out. Additionally, we've expanded that, so the proceeds of the Bunko tournament last night is also going to the Boys and Girls Club. Outside of that, we've continued our partnership with the Strathmore High School Band, where we're helping them out, and we look forward to many years of continuing to do that, assuming you still provide us with great dessert. I mean, there is a little caveat, no pressure or anything. But and lastly, we also partnered with the Strathmore Youth Football, Baseball, Cheerleading, and they asked, can we have a concession stand during your softball tournament? We said sure. We didn't have one last year. It'd be great if you did that. And they got all the proceeds of that. So we're trying to help make this really a truly community feel, where we're able to touch lots of different people in lots of different areas, because at least I think I can speak for the whole group, that we care about this community a great deal, and it means a lot. And so any way we can help each other, that's kind of my goal, is that we can continue to help other areas, whether or not they're attending dinners or not. So with that was kind of the update on partnerships. I'm happy to talk to any of you afterwards if you have any ideas or want to know more about any of those individual groups. And we're getting, I guess we're up for roll call. So if I could have some helpers, some spotters, possibly. And while people are getting up, not all at once, I'd like to mention a few. There's another thing that I was reminded of. So the Strathmore High School football program started last year a first Hall of Fame. They created a Hall of Fame for the football program, and last year was the first inductees that were awarded. Next Saturday night will be the second class of the Strathmore Football Hall of Fame, and it'll be at Joe Lopez's ranch. There's tickets in the back at the very last table. If you just wave the tickets around a little bit and shine them around. So if you're interested, there's a young gentleman there that would be happy to get you some tickets. It's next Saturday night, and again, it's honoring a lot of our classmates that were phenomenal on the field, and so it's a great cause. We went last year, and it was a great turnout. So with that, let's begin the roll call. Do we have anyone from? Yes, Phil, by all means. So, anyone from the 1920s? Hey, I guess got it. Hey, we got the class of '66 is planning on maybe getting together afterwards. And so if you're interested, then you can talk with one of their committee members that are present tonight. You're right. So,
could we have Mrs. Walters lead us in the school song? Do you know when the rainbow comes down?
Oh no. I'm finding it.
I agree. Somebody else would be great to lead the school song. Okay, so if everyone would stand. And then you can sit and chat for as long as you'd like, but if we stand for the school song, that'd be great.
Yes.
As we're standing and moving around, how many of those of you are either veterans or currently serving in the armed forces? If you just raise your hand, and then give a nice round of applause for all the people that have served in our country. Okay. When the rainbow comes down in California, in the center of Strathmore High, there's a school that is worth all the wealth of the earth, and the river will live and die, will live and die in the heart of our dear alma mater, on a hill looking over the town, around the blue of the sky into old Strathmore High, that's where the rainbow comes down.
That's the end.